Welcome. It's Alan Connect here, and we're going to be doing a session of backyard analytics. And I'm going to, hey, Jonathan, welcome. Glad to see people joining. And for a change, my Twitter account actually broadcast. I was having some problems with it. Turns out with Periscope, I needed to uninstall and reinstall my Android to get it working. But I'm going to be here talking for just a couple minutes about analytics, as I think this is my fifth session or sixth session of backyard analytics. I've talked about data sampling. I've talked about setting up KPIs. And I'm going to talk about seasonality because today is Friday, July 10th. Hey, welcome. And thinking about it, because I'm working on a lot of client stuff and seeing some steady declines this past week. Or last week you attribute it to, especially ones with large American audiences, to the July 4th. In Canada we had July 1st. So there's a lot of holidays like that nature. But in seasonality now, the question is, especially let's say we're doing an SEO project and traffic is dropping, is the SEO the failure or is it seasonality? And that's a real tough question because last year with this one particular client, we were doing a lot of stuff with them and they had done some bad things before we got engaged. So it's not a fair comparison because yes, traffic is up over last year, but we're trying to compare. And I'm looking at some data, comparing it to 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and it's really, really tough. And this is why sometimes, while I typically tell people you don't want to do comparison, hey, Andrea, you don't want to do comparison of periods, 2 years ago in analytics because things have changed, but we can look at percentage changes. How, let's say first week in July compared to last week in June, what's the percentage differences? And attribute then the seasonality, assuming that that's held. And especially if I have 2, 3, or even 4 years worth of data, I can start attributing different things. And it's the same token. I've been looking at my garden. This is where I drew my inspiration for today. And we'll go back to my garden, which I started on a second ago. There we go. Those red flowers. And I don't think you're allowed to zoom here on Periscope, so I'll walk over to them. These are wild bergamot. It's one of my favorite flowers that come up annually in my garden. The hummingbirds love them, and the hummingbirds have started making some appearances here with these. But typically, they're looking like they would look, and this is a problem with seasonality, they're about 2 weeks behind schedule. So when I'm looking at 2 weeks behind schedule on plants, I know, and this is where I talked about last week on annotating things, we had a lot of rain. We didn't have as many days of bright sunshine. So I have to understand that implication. And that's something as well, when you start looking back and trying to do seasonality when it comes to your analytics work, you need to know this. And this is where the session from last week, which I do have them all up on YouTube, so you can search on Backyard Analytics on YouTube and find them, I talked about annotation. What were you doing last year? Were you running a paid campaign during that first week of July? Were you working on an SEO project that may have changed things? Was there a major website redesign that week? Was there a service outage? Were there major blackouts in parts of the world where your audience is up? So those are things that you need to think about beyond just looking at seasonality, but that's another reason you do want historical data because maybe you want to look at not just how we compared to last year, first week July, last week June. We want to look at first week July versus the last week June last year, 2 years ago, and 3 years ago. And take note of things that may have been going on that week and know if you should be discounting something. So for my garden, I need to know everything is running about 2 weeks behind schedule just because we had a very late spring and we had tons and tons of days of rain with no sunshine. So on that note, I'm going to show you another little nice thing about the wild bergamot. Here, see if I can get this. Oh, there we go. There's the wild bergamot. There we go. Going to pick this. There we go. It's an edible flower. Little burst of super sweetness. Yeah, thanks for all the love. Please, if you have any suggestions for topics for Backyard Analytics, any comments, you can reach me through my Twitter account at AKNECHT. It's the same as my Periscope account. And this will be put up on YouTube maybe later today. If not by Monday, it'll be up on YouTube. But search, once again, go to Google, go to Bing, search you, or go to YouTube directly and search Backyard Analytics, and you can see all my past sessions. So on that note, everybody, it's Friday afternoon here in Toronto, Canada. Have a great weekend. The Pan Am Games are about to start here, which is going to be an interesting thing. Biggest event ever held in Toronto. And I have tickets actually for Thursday to go see women's beach volleyball. Was it my first choice? No, but that was a little perk I got from Cloud. So, hey, another goodie from being very active on social. So on that note, everybody, Hope everyone's having a great Friday and enjoy your weekend. And send me any thoughts and recommendations to at AKNECHT on Twitter.